seem to have, I might almost call it, obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or a permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it will be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions, coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country?
Well, it might, but you are, new to our region, but how many northerners are employed in the east or in the west? The answer is no. And if there are, there may be 10 laborers employed only in the two regions.
A lot of attention on Twitter. A lot of people are saying, wait, where's the outrage of for what's going on in Nigeria? We saw 4 million people marching in the streets of Paris. We saw world leaders gathering there to sort of stand in solidarity with Paris. Where are those calls for the same kind of justice for the people of Nigeria? Help us understand the difference here and maybe why we're not hearing the same level of outrage. Or is there a reason?
Yeah, good morning, Michaela. Yeah, the issue is, the stark difference, isn't it? World leaders, very prominent, linking arms, walking the Champs-Élysées, complete solidarity against this and outrage against what happened in Paris, vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness. Yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
Complete. It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority. Very stark, very hard to say, but that's the case right now.
Hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land.
Fortunately, we don't reason like that. Anybody thinking that Igbo presidency 2023 will stop us? What we want is Biafra. And what we're going to get is Biafra.
Yes, thank you for joining in. And I want to welcome you to the weekend. Today is the 8th of October 2022, and today is Saturday. That is the last day of the week. Thank you for joining Biafra Global Network. My name is Kelechi Ambrose. I want to greet you wherever you are today. I want to appreciate God that we are all alive to see the day, and that we are all here, and we can testify that, of course, we are here because God has actually permitted us to be here and given us life. In spite of the things that are happening around us, we are safe, we're secure, our family members are protected, and hopefully we believe God is going to keep us all through this period, that will, as we get into our freedom and get into our, into our own nation. And I know you're going to be part of this new nation. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to go straight to business. Of course, you saw the intros, the publications we made, the interview with that Fulani man. You saw the other, and you saw the declaration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you saw the confirmation by Mazi Samunekpa there will be no election in Biafra land. These are things that we are pursuing strongly and ardently. And of course, we know that you out there, you are in support of this, because we no more want to be slaves to people who are on the same level with us, or people who we are not even in the same category with. But yet we want to be free from them. We want to be free from the situation that we find ourselves. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Thank you for joining. Today, we're going to be looking at a critical video. I've been making analysis on Fela Nicola Kokuti, and I told you about his resilience, his philosophy, and his focus about the future, and his revelation about who we are and what we are and where we should be. But we were not able to see these things in the depth of what he was actually preaching then. Today, you see that most of these people whose songs were philosophical and were teaching of the future, which their songs make meaning to life generally, most of them are not being celebrated. In fact, most of them are just treated as people who are not important. Today we celebrate songs of people who sing about gangsterism and gangsterism, about low issues that have to do with sex and other things. We celebrate people who sing about corruption. We sing corruption, immorality, corruption, and all of that. We celebrate people who actually are looking at the other pleasures of life, but we feel free to celebrate people who speak the truth, who say about the situation we are. We talk about people like Africa China, who sang about them born house, plenty house for inside their jugule. We don't celebrate such songs. We don't celebrate the people. We don't celebrate Bob Marley, the way we should celebrate him when he said, how long shall they kill our prophets, where we stand aside and look. We don't celebrate all of these. We're actually concerned about the details of people who don't really mean well, who just make us feel pleasurable, and who make us go to smoke Igbo and smoke and get into error. Those are the kind of songs we celebrate. But I'm going to be bringing you for the past few days, I've been talking about Fela Nicola Kokuti, a philosopher and someone who actually and was speaking things that concern, the fullness of what we were going through, where we found ourselves, and the future, and what we should do. And today I'm going to be playing a video of Fela Nicola Kokuti. That's the live song, where he sang about, the teacher no teach me nonsense. And I've been making narrative out of it all this while. I use these lyrics, but this time around I'm going to be playing the video, and I'm going to be speaking extensively. By the time we're through with this broadcast today, you're going to be wowed, because you're going to hear so many things and basic things. And this will be the end of talking about Fela Nicola Kokuti, and then we're going to move from the messages we're going to get here. We're going to move into another dimension and dispensation of information, lecture, and probing into history to find out some basic things that we need to know, the things that are very factual to what that concerns us all. And of course, you remember on Monday by 1 p.m. Biafra time, we're going to be having Prince SM Ihanacho. By 1 p.m. Biafra time on Monday, we're going to be having Mazi Gaddafi too. The two of them will be here live on stage, and we're going to be talking about deep things. The last time we talked about on Thursday when I had them right here. We looked at in-depth matters, and some of you, you can testify, you can attest to it that it was wonderful. This time around is going to be explosive. So prepare your heart for Monday. Please spread the music and the message, and share this broadcast to all your social media platforms. Get the people to subscribe. You subscribe if you have not subscribed, so that you can receive notification, and then they also can receive notification. Share this video far and wide so that people can hear of these great things that are happening. If you see behind me, you'll see three great men: Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the center, Chuku at the right hand side, and Mazi Simon at my left hand side. These are men that Chuku Okike is using this time to do great works. But I'm going to be looking at a man who is from the Oduduwa region, from Ogun State, or Belkuta, Oduduwa, and that is Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Before I go into analysis, I want to play his video live. It's about 8 to 10 minutes video. Please, I want you to take your time to listen to this video and enjoy the music, but listen to the words from the mouth of this prophet. We are listening that prophets are people who wear suits, and most of them who are even babalawos, they just wear suits and all of that and deceive you, stand on the pulpit, and then every Sunday collect tithe and offering. But this is a man who came selflessly, suffered. He was taken to cell. In fact, at a point, let me tell you about Fela Anikulapo Kuti. There was a time he was about to be arrested. He was actually naked. They came to his house. He was naked. He said they should carry him like that. He's not going to. They told him to dress up and let them take him. He said, no, take me the way I am. And they carried him. They bundled him naked to their office, just because he was speaking against the government and the errors of the government and the evil of the government, the Fulani government and the errors of the Fulani government, the caliphate, and they actually treated him badly. He was brutalized, he was beaten several times, he went through hell several times, and these are people who believe in freedom. They did all they could do to attain freedom. Now I'm going to play the video so that you can enjoy the music. At the same time, we're going to talk about the details. Now, for this time, I'm going to play the video from the beginning to the end, and I'm not going to obstruct it. I'm not going to interrupt. I'll allow it to flow so that you can enjoy, you can benefit from it, and then I'll begin the narrative as soon as the video is through, and then we can now look at it critically and begin to bring out the messages that we need to bring out in this regard. Watch and enjoy this video.
All the wahala, all the problems, all the things we think that you could do for this world at the start. When a teacher, schoolboy and schoolgirl jam together. Whoopie teacher, I go let you know. Whoopie teacher, I go let you know. Whoopie teacher, I go let you know. When we be picking, when we did for school,
teacher be teacher.
When we the university,
Lecturer be teacher.
When we start to walk,
Government be teacher.
Who be government teacher? Culture and tradition. Who be government teacher?
Culture and tradition.
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 Now the problem side of a teacher student I go sing about. I don't pass speaking, I don't pass school, universities ever pass. As I don't start to walk, now government I must confess to. You go for France,
Yes,
England,
Yes,
Italy,
Yes,
Germany,
Yes,
and them culture.
Yes,
For the be teacher,
Yes,
for them you go Russia,
Yes,
China,
Yes,
Korea,
Yes,
Vietnam, and them culture.
Yes,
For the be teacher,
Yes,
for them you go Syria,
Yes,
Jordan,
Yes,
Iran,
Yes,
Iraq, and them culture.
Yes,
For the be teacher, for them. Let us face ourselves for Africa, not the matter of Africa. Bring this party of my song. Now all the problems of this world, now him we they carry for Africa. You know go asking me, you know go asking me, you know go asking me, you know go asking me. Problems of inflation, problems of corruption, of mismanagement. Still by government, still by government. Now here we they carry all over Africa. Now the latest one, now him they make me laugh. Austerity, austerity. Now the latest one, now him they make me laugh. Why are they laugh? Man no fit cry. Oh, Ubia watishana uyibo. Ubia watishana uyibo. All of us the first election and the second election all in Nigeria. And the second election I was a pass. Babala nonsense. Babala nonsense. He passed the rigging. He passed corruption. He passed rigging. Which kind of election be this? People no go vote. They come get big numbers. Thousands to thousands. Millions to millions. Which kind of election be this? Babala nonsense. Babala nonsense. Na demo ki recibi datio. Na demo ki recibi datio. Puti chance demo ki recibi. Na oyibo ti shi osi. Na oyibo for Europe. Politicians many things. Many of them things I don't think about. Me are not guilty to copy your Igbo style. Me are not guilty to copy your Igbo style. I want to ask Igbo no question. But Shagari finish me elections. But them not tell I'm say he make mistake. But them not tell I'm say he make mistake. Say this one go be democracy. But Oyibo them not tell I'm myself. That for England I mean no which cake.